This is going to be a big social experiment. I'm going to go out and I'm going to start a company where we're going to treat our employees with respect and see if we can create something that's more special. And so, really, the start of Closer Look was I talked another producer and I into another producer joined me in leaving this production company and starting our own production company. And we literally started in this bar.
Okay, which seat?
Well, our first office was across the street, 738 North Wells, on the third floor.
Okay.
Small, 1,000 square foot former art gallery. And so, you know, we didn't know what we were doing. We had about $1,500 as seed capital, enough to pay for a couple of months' rent.
Yeah.
And we moved everything in. We just had a couple of folding tables that were loaned to us and some chairs. And so the day before we moved in, I called up Illinois Bell and said, okay, so we need some phones on the third floor of this address. And they said, okay, that'll be 3 weeks by the time we get out there. And I'm like, 3 weeks? What are you talking about? I basically have paid for a month's rent. I need phones now. Otherwise, I'm going to be out of business. And they go, sorry, you're in the queue. You're in line. It'll be 3 weeks. I'm like, oh, crap. What are we going to do? So my partner, Dan, and I came over to the pub here to have a drink and go, okay, what are we going to do? And as we walked in the door, we noticed on either side of the door there were 2 payphones. It was like, okay, this is going to be our office for the next 3 weeks.
Okay.
So every day for the next 3 weeks, he and I would come over about 10 a.m. when the bar opened with a stack of quarters, and we ripped out of Crane's Chicago Business. They had a top business list, top 200 private companies, top 200 public companies. We flipped a coin. He took the private companies, I took the public companies.
Really?
We literally started with the largest companies, and we dialed the main line and just worked our way through to try to find a prospect.
Whatever.
We tried to get to corporate communications, to public relations, to marketing, to employee training, anybody that would be doing film or video, that would be creating, and we just kind of, you know, talk our way in and try to set up a meeting. And so we call for a couple of hours. Half the time we couldn't get to somebody, so we'd have to leave a phone number to call back. Well, the only number we had to call back was the number on the payphone.
Right.
So we would tip the barmaid and say, look, the phone rings. We want you to run around the bar, pick up the phone and answer it. Closer Look. Back then it was called Closer Look Video Group, but Closer Look. And so then we would come in at the end of the day, and she'd have messages written on napkins and posters, and we would call them back the next day.